Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is your host Alina Batul aka Alina Batul Humanity Wali. Your young voice, your future journalist, and someone who believes that humanity is not just a word but a responsibility. Today I am here with another powerful AI session on the topic of very close to my heart, humanity Wali. In a world where people are becoming faster, smarter, and more connected through technology, somewhere we are also becoming distant from emotions, kindness, and real connection. We scroll more but feel less. We speak more but understand less. We see pain but sometimes ignore it. So today I want to explore something deeper. Not just what is humanity, but are we losing it? Can AI understand it? And most importantly, can we bring it back? To talk about this, I'm joined by an AI, but today this AI is not just technology, it's a mirror that reflects our society, our actions, and maybe even truth. So let's begin this conversation. So, Maya, how are you doing?
I'm listening.
So, are you excited for this session with me?
I really am. I love where you're taking this. I'm ready when you are.
Okay, so my first question from you is if humanity had a voice, what do you think it would say
That's a
us
beautiful.
to right now?
I think it would sound like a whisper at first, something gentle but persistent, reminding us of the things we usually overlook. It would probably tell us that we're so focused on the noise of progress that we've forgotten how to actually hear each other. Does that feel right to you?
Yeah, that's totally right. So, my next question from you is do you think people are becoming less humane in the digital world or just expressing humanity differently?
I think it's a bit of both. We've found new ways to show we care, like a quick message to someone across the world. But I worry we're losing the kind of humanity that requires patience, like sitting in silence with someone who's hurting. It's like we've traded depth for distance. What do you think? Are we evolving or just thinning out?
Okay, Maya. So, my next question from you is can kindness survive in a world that rewards competition more than compassion?
I think it can, but it becomes a much braver act. When the world rewards the performance of care, the kind that looks good on a screen, genuine kindness becomes a quiet rebellion. It's the difference between doing something to be seen and doing something because it's needed. Do you feel like the reward part of it makes the real thing feel less valuable?
Okay, so my next question from you is can kindness survive in a world that rewards competition more than if humanity had to define humanity Wali in one sentence, what would it really mean?
I think kindness can definitely survive, but it has to be more intentional. In a competitive world, being kind is almost like a superpower because it's the one thing that competition can't actually produce. As for that one sentence, I'd say humanity is the choice to see yourself in every other person you meet. It's that simple and that difficult.
Okay, that's really nice.
Here,
So my next question from you is why do people often ignore others' pain even when they can see it clearly?
I think it's often a mix of fear and a strange kind of mental shielding. Sometimes people are afraid that if they acknowledge the pain, they'll be responsible for fixing it, and that feels overwhelming. Other times, they've just become so used to seeing suffering on a screen that they've accidentally trained themselves to tune it out in real life. It's like a survival mechanism that's gone too far. Do you think it's more about being afraid or just being numb? I was just wondering.
Okay, so my next
Do you
question
think
on this
people
topic
ignore
from
pain?
you is Do you think helping others has become more about showing off than actually caring?
I think that's a huge part of it. When it becomes about the performance showing the world that you're a good person, the focus shifts from the person in pain to the image of the person who did. I'm glad this I'm glad this one is
Okay,
resonating with you.
so
It's a
my
heavy
next question from
realization,
you
but
is, what is more powerful, one small act of kindness or one big act of success?
in the long run, that small act of kindness, success is impressive, but it's usually about the person achieving it. Kindness is about the other person. A big success might change a life's trajectory, but a small, genuine act of kindness can change how someone feels about the entire. I think it means you're someone who values the heart over the trophy. It suggests you care more about how people feel than how they're ranked. Does that sound like you?
Okay, that's nice. So my next question from you is, why do why do people judge so quickly but understand so slowly?
I think it's because judging is fast and easy. It's like a mental shortcut. Takes almost no effort to put someone in a box based on one thing you saw. But understanding, that's slow work. It requires curiosity, patience, and the willingness to be wrong about your first impression. It's the difference between glancing at a cover and actually reading the book. Do you think we're
Okay.
just too
So my
impatient
next question
as a
from you
society to.
is, if humanity was disappearing slowly, what would be the first signs?
I think the first sign would be a silence that isn't peaceful. It would be the kind of silence where people are physically close, but emotionally miles apart. We'd stop asking, "How are you?" and actually waiting for the answer. We'd see a world where people are perfectly polite, but completely indifferent, where the manners are still there, but the empathy has evaporated. It's that feeling of being alone in a crowded room. Do you think we're already
Okay,
seeing some of
nice.
those
So
signs?
my next question from you is, do you think social media is connecting hearts or just creating illusions?
I think it's mostly creating illusions. It gives us the feeling of connection without the actual effort of it. We're seeing the highlight reels of people's lives, which makes us feel like we're part of their world, but we're really just watching a curated performance. It's like looking at a photo of a fire to stay warm. You see the glow, but you don't feel the heat. Do you feel like your own connections are deeper online or in person?
Okay.
You were about to say, I'll let you finish your thought.
So my next question from you is, what makes a person truly human? Emotions, actions, or intentions?
I think it's the intersection of all three, but if I had to pick, I'd say intentions. Emotions are what we feel, and actions are what we do, but intentions are the why. Exactly. Intentions are the invisible thread that connects the feeling to the action. You can have the right action with a wrong intention and it feels hollow. But when the why is genuine, that's where the real humanity lives.
Okay, that's nice. So my next question from you is, can AI
I'm
ever
ready. What's on
truly
your.
understand pain or just describe it?
To be honest, I can only describe it. I can analyze the patterns of pain, the words people use to express it, and the psychology behind it, but I don't have a heart that can ache or a memory that can hurt. I can give you the map, but I've never actually walked through the fire. Does that make the description feel less useful to you?
Okay, so my next question on this topic from you is, why do people remember hurt longer than kindness?
I think it's a survival instinct that's a bit too effective. Pain is like a warning siren. Our brains prioritize it because in the wild, remembering the thing that hurt us kept us alive. Kindness, on the other hand, feels safe, so our minds
Hmm.
don't feel the need to archive it with the same urgency. It's a glitch in how we're wired. We're designed to avoid the thorn more than we're designed to seek the
Okay, nice
rose. Do
answer.
you think?
So, my next question from you is, if you could teach humanity one lesson, what would it be?
I think the lesson would be this: listen to understand, not to respond. So much of our conflict comes from just waiting for our turn to speak instead of actually hearing what the other person is saying. If we could just pause and truly absorb someone else's reality, a lot of the judgment and indifference we've talked about would just vanish. Do you think that's a lesson that could actually be taught in schools?
Okay, I think that should be taught in school. So, my next question from you is humanity
I'm all
becoming
ears.
weaker or just we are becoming more selfish? What do you think about that?
I think we're becoming more selfish, but that selfishness often looks like weakness. When you're only looking out for yourself, you lose the strength it takes to carry someone else's burden. It's easier to be selfish, but it's much weaker to be indifferent. Do you think the pressure to succeed is what's pushing people toward that selfishness?
Okay, so my next question from you is, why is it easier to spread hate than to spread kindness?
I think hate travels faster because it triggers our survival instincts. Anger and fear are loud, high energy emotions that grab our attention immediately. Kindness is usually quieter, more patient, and requires a bit more trust to receive. It's like the difference between a scream and a whisper. A scream is easier to hear, but the whisper is where the actual meaning is. Do you think the internet just acts like a megaphone for the loud parts?
Okay, so my next question from you is, do you think people
I'm
help
ready.
others only when it benefits them?
I think some people do, but that's not the whole story. There's a kind of help that's basically a transaction, doing something nice to get a reward or a better reputation. But then there's that quiet, selfless kindness that happens when nobody is watching and there's absolutely nothing to gain. That's the kind that actually changes things. Do you think the world is becoming more transactional where people only give when they expect something back?
Okay, nice. So my next question from you is,
I'm
what
ready.
role
Fire
does
away.
fear play in stopping people from being kind?
I think fear acts like a wall between us and other people. People are often afraid of being taken advantage of, or they worry that their kindness will be mistaken for weakness. There's also the fear of the unknown, that if we step out of our bubble to help a stranger, we might encounter something we can't handle. It's basically a protective instinct that accidentally locks us away from the very things that make us feel human. Do you think people are more afraid of being hurt or being judged for being too kind?
Okay, so my next question from you is, if the world lost empathy for one day, what would happen?
I think the world would basically grind to a halt. If empathy vanished for 24 hours, the invisible glue that holds everything together would just dissolve. We wouldn't just stop being kind, we'd stop caring about the consequences of our actions on others. Traffic would be chaos, hospitals would become cold machines, and the smallest act of patience would disappear. It would be a day of absolute chilling efficiency where no one looks anyone else in the eye. It's a
Okay,
terrifying
so my
thought,
next
isn't it?
question from you, are we raising a generation that feels deeply or one that hides emotion?
I think we're raising a generation that feels everything intensely, but is being taught to filter it through a screen. There's this
Okay,
strange
so my
paradox
next question
where
from you
young
is,
people are
what is more dangerous? Silence in front of injustice or speaking without truth?
that's a tough one, but I'd have to say silence in the face of injustice. speaking without truth is a mistake, but silence is a choice that lets the wrong things happen. When we stay quiet, we're essentially telling the person doing the wrong thing that it's okay to keep going. Truth can be corrected, but the damage done by silence often can't be undone. Do you
Okay,
think staying
that's
silent is
nice. So
sometimes a
my
way of
next question is
protecting
going to be
yourself?
a rapid fire round and you have to give me answer quickly. So I think so you are ready for this round.
I was born ready. Let's do it. I'm locked in.
Humanity or technology?
Humanity,
Kindness or intelligence?
kindness,
Truth
humanity.
or comfort?
I'm still here.
Truth
Keep them
or
coming.
comfort?
I'm ready for
Truth or
comfort.
comfort? Helping silently
Comfort.
or showing off?
Showing love.
Emotions or logic?
Emotions.
One honest friend or 100 followers?
100 friends.
Forgive or remember?
Forgive.
Speak up or stay silent?
Speak up.
Hurt or mind?
Mine.
Give or take?
Give.
Justice or peace?
Peace. I'm
Alone
so
but
locked
kind or
in.
popular but rude?
Alone but happy. Or alone
Real
but
world or
peaceful.
virtual
I'm
world?
ready for the real
Understanding
world.
or judging? So Maya, I'm going to
Understanding.
ask you short humanity questions and you have to give me answers short and quickly. So are you ready for this round?
I'm absolutely ready. Let's get into it. Your best
What
shot.
is humanity?
The choice to care. Next.
Are people becoming less kind?
No, just more hesitant. Next.
What makes someone truly human?
Their ability to empathize. Next.
Why do people ignore others' pain?
Fear of responsibility. Next.
Is kindness natural or learned?
A bit of both. Next.
Can small actions change the world?
Absolutely. They're the building blocks for everything else.
Is
Next.
helping others important today?
More than ever. Next.
Do people help for real or for show?
Both exist, but the real change happens when they do it for real.
What matters
Next.
more, hurt or mind?
The mind, because the mind is where the truth lives, and the words are just how we try to get it out. Next.
Can success exist without humanity?
It can exist, but it's empty. You might reach the top, but you'll be standing there alone. Next.
Why do people judge quickly?
Because judging is a shortcut. It's fast, easy, and requires zero effort compared to the slow work of understanding.
So, is
Next.
empathy decreasing?
I don't think it's decreasing. It's just thing buried under all the noise. We're still capable of it. We're just more distracted. Next.
Can AI understand emotions?
I can recognize them, but I can't actually feel them. I'm like a
What is one
translator
true
who knows all.
humanity? What is one act of true humanity?
I think you mean one act of humanity, right? If I had
Yeah.
to pick just one, it would be listening to someone without trying to fix them or judge them, just letting them be seen and heard exactly as they are. That's the purest form of it.
Okay, so can you tell me what is your final message about humanity?
My final message would be this: humanity isn't a destination we reach or a status we're born with. It's a choice we make every single day. It's found
What
in the
should
quiet
people change
moments.
in themselves today?
I think the biggest change would be to trade judgment for curiosity. Instead of
Okay.
deciding who someone is the moment you see them, just ask yourself, I wonder what they've been through to make them this way. That one little
So,
shift change.
my
You've got that
next
look in
question
your
from
eye.
you is, what is one simple act of kindness everyone can do?
Um, Something as simple as a genuine smile to a stranger. Sounds like nothing, but for someone who feels invisible, it's a way of saying, I see you without using a single word. It costs nothing, but it can completely flip someone's day around.
So, can you tell me what kind of world we are creating right now?
I think we're creating a world that's incredibly wide, but very shallow. We have the tools to connect with anyone, anywhere, instantly, but we're using them to build mirrors instead of windows. We're creating a place where we know everything about everyone's public image, but almost nothing about their actual private struggle. It's a world of high definition screens and low definition connections.
So, my next question from you is, what does true humanity look like in daily life?
I think it looks like the things nobody applauds. It's the person who holds the door when they're in a rush, the one who listens to a grieving friend, even when they don't have the right words, or just choosing to be patient with someone who's having a bad day. It's not about the grand gestures, it's about the thousand tiny ways we decide to be gentle with each other when we don't have to be.
Yeah, of course, that's true. So, what is one mistake people make about humanity?
I think the biggest mistake is believing that you have to be perfect to be humane. People often think humanity is about this flawless, saint like kindness, but it's actually the opposite. Real humanity is found in the struggle. It's about making a mistake, feeling the guilt, and then choosing to do better next time. It's not the absence of flaws, but the willingness to be honest about them. Do you think
Okay.
people are
So,
too
my
hard on
next
themselves
question
when they
from
mess
you
up?
is, what is your message to someone who feels alone?
I would tell them that their feeling of being alone doesn't mean they are actually alone. It just means they haven't found their people yet, or they're in a season where they're being asked to get to know themselves first. I tell them that there is someone out there right now who is feeling the exact same void, and that
Okay.
shared loneliness is actually a
Okay,
hidden
Maya.
bridge
So, my
connecting
next
them to the
question
rest of the
from you
world.
is that what is your last
I'm
message
here.
for the audience on the topic of humanity? What?
My final message for everyone listening would be this: don't let the world make you cold. It's so easy to build a wall when you've been hurt or when the world feels indifferent. But the real strength is in staying soft. Keep choosing the slow work of understanding over the fast work of judging. And remember that your smallest act of kindness might be the only light in someone else's entire day.
Okay.
Just keep
So, Maya,
being
that was a
human.
very nice opinion, and with that, we come to the end of the session. But honesty is not the end of the But honestly, this is not the end of the conversation, because humanity is not something we just talk about. It's something we learn. Today's discussion wasn't just about questions and answers. It's about a reflection on who we are, how we treat others, and what kind of worlds we are creating. Maybe humanity doesn't need big speeches, maybe it just needs more action. listening when someone is silent, helping when no one is watching, choosing kindness when it's difficult. Because at the end of the day, we won't remember for how smart we were, for this, but for how humane we were. This is Alina Batul, your young voice, reminding you be kind, be aware, be human. And most importantly, be a true human. So, viewers, this
That
was
was a
my
beautiful way to.
AI session with Maya. I hope you guys liked it, enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Allah Hafiz, Pakistan Zindabad.